Go.
Let's get ready to juggernaut, bitch. New gaming order back with our second topic, and just wanting to touch down on a topic that Polygon that I came across on their website. So make sure you check out Polygon.com. They have some good stuff. You know, I go between
they're
them
a bunch of. It's an SJW haven. Don't touch that shit. It's all clickbait.
Well, okay. With that being said, I just pull out the best, the good stuff from them, and they had some interesting news on Steam now offering refunds for games purchased online. Wow, they pulled a European Xbox Live PSN type setup where people were getting refunds. Now, I didn't get the chance to fully read it, but I just wanted to. Well, when Nelson goes at the end, we'll kind of wrap it up. But is this a good or bad thing? You know, both. I'm thinking like a lot of digital games that we purchase, and then you have the buyer's remorse. Like, for instance, a lot of people like Sunset Overdrive. I got it, and I have that remorse, and I only got it for the show, and I wish that I can get those funds back so I can get another title. Now, what they could do with the DRM is like, okay, let's say I want to give up that game. Okay, unlock it or lock it from my system, or let me delete it and say, hey, remove it from my profile. Give me at least 50% of the credits back, and let me get another title. Do like an online GameStop or something. You know what I mean? If you really want to get, some good faith and still make some money, adopt that system. But with that being said, I will give the floor to Takuma first. What are your thoughts on Steam starting with online refunds for games?
Steam giving out refunds? Hey, somebody better run me my money. I'm all over it.
Now, you see with Steam, and before I just wanted to add one more thing. Steam has some of the best sales and better pricing for games. You know what I mean? So it's not like it's going to be so damaging that, like they have a Steam sale or a Capcom sale or Konami sale, and you get like $5 or $10 back or whatnot. I think that's good because, hey, it keeps the, indie developers, hey, let's say I get my $20 back from Cross Tekken or something, and I can buy like 4 indie games with that. I think that would help a lot of people. But, your thoughts, Takuma?
I think it's a generally good idea that they're giving out refunds for the online game and stuff like that. It just shows how a company appreciates its customers and the business they're doing, actually offering this kind of like deal. So I think it's a really good step for them, and I actually applaud Steam because I'm on there now. So I think it's a good step in the right direction, and they're doing this for their people. So yeah. Okay.
And then again, that shows good faith. Hey, we're not trying to rip you guys off. And then you're gonna encourage people to be like, damn, I trust you. These guys are cool. I got this. Boom. Right. And do your thing. All right. So, Khalif, what are your thoughts on Steam now adopting online refunds or that policy for their transactions?
Well, it's cool. Definitely what I'm trying to understand is like when you're dealing with Steam and when you're buying a game, like what I would want to know, like, what would you need a refund for if you get the game and it doesn't work right? Or I guess I'm confused on that.
That's
side.
one of the things. There's 2 requirements on the refunds. It's got to be within 14 days of purchase and less than 2 hours played. Yep. So it's not one of these things where you can like beat it in a day, but you spend 12 hours playing it, you can't get that shit refunded. So it's one of those. It's not compatible with my system, or there was false advertising. It's probably more for that.
Well, hell yeah, that's brilliant.
Especially if a lot of the green light stuff going on, they failed to deliver on a lot of their promises.
Got it. Okay. So if that's the situation, then that's great. Because I don't PC game, but I'd be pissed off if I were to try to get a game and it didn't run on my laptop, or it didn't work right and I couldn't get a refund. I thought that was the standard, but if they're implementing that, then that's good for them.
Now here's the thing. PC gamers, and I know NYC Playboy and On Your Knees can pretty much vouch for this. PC gamers with the master race, it's more or less like they know what they need to run that stuff. Right. So why does it have to come to this?
I would guess for a newcomer like me, if I were to get into PC game and out of nowhere, and I don't know the first thing from anything, and I just want to get Fallout 4, for example, when it comes out, and and it doesn't want to run on my laptop, then I'd be pretty pissed off if it didn't run for me. So I mean, I guess it's for all the newcomers. I would guess. I mean, and then with all this new stuff with the Steam machine coming out and all that, trying to implement new PC gamers.
Okay, that's cool. All right, so
there also could be a case where the game's very poorly programmed. So even though you have the full specs, it just runs like crap. So it could be one of those too, where it's a technically bad game.
Okay.
Because that happens a lot. That happened with the Hatred. That game's poorly optimized. That thing can barely. There's certain settings where even on a monster rig with dual SLI cards, Titans, $2,000 video cards, $10,000 rig, it runs only at 30 frames.
I keep hearing that game is great, by the way. Just one thought out there.
Yeah, Review Tech was saying that it wasn't that good, but
it's one of those things where, aside, if it didn't get all the publicity, like no one would know about the game.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the fact websites like Polygon, wanted to shit on that game, because it's the end of the world. It's literally Hitler. That it wouldn't have gotten any attention. It's a mediocre twin stick shooter. It's what it is. And this shit, fucking Postal did this shit in the 90s. There's nothing.
Oh yeah. That was a lot of controversy. But Chris, that was your turn. I mean, what are your thoughts on just the refund policy?
I think it's great. I think I'm not sure why they decided to do it now. Maybe they're trying to get more in line. It could be a big PR push because I guess they were getting a lot of complaints about Greenlight, about some of the people not delivering on their promises. Or maybe they wanted to switch to a universal platform because they have to do refunds in Europe. That's something that the EU makes digital distributors do. They have to offer refunds. So maybe they wanted to get a universal platform so it's one type of support for the world.
Okay. Now, I think that if this is successful, they need to apply this to consoles with digital purchases.
Yeah, that's good.
I just hope that becomes the case, or like an online trade-in system or something. I think that would really.
You could get a European account, then you'd be covered on that. You'd be able to get refunds.
I don't want to go through the trouble anymore. You know how many PSN accounts and Xbox Live accounts I have?
You got a shit ton of money with all that money you embezzled from the Red Cross. You're covered.
You know what, Nelson? Can we delete Chris from the stream? No, it's not. NYC Playboy.
Is that better, Alex?
What? Oh, I'm watching the stream on delay. What the heck?
See, I just blocked out my window.
Oh yeah. Well, shut up. Anyway, NYC Playboy. What are your thoughts on Steam now going the route of refunds for digital purchases?
I agree with Chris's sentiments exactly. This came about from
Yeah, go ahead.
This came about from those indie projects not delivering up on their promises, and they're charging you like $20 here, $20 there to try our game, etc., etc. And and also the EU just passed a new law about digital distributors, and the rights of the consumer, right of the people to have refunds. So it all goes hand in hand. Also, it also ties into this very interesting article I read on CNET yesterday, and I posted in the chat about how EA turned around from being voted the worst company in America to work for, and to changing its corporate culture. So and I think they don't want to be seen as a company, Steam, seen as quote unquote the worst company in America.
PR, it's like damage control. Okay.
Yeah, it is. So they're taking a lessons learned route and applying it to them right now.
Got it. Okay. And then Nelson, bring us home. What are your thoughts on Steam offering digital refunds?
It's good, and it can also be bad because they're going in this not thinking about how many people will just bullshit their way, despite the fact that, you have a 2-hour time limit and you have a 14-day full refund policy. There's a lot of people out there and I can just put them on blast right now. Like tournament organizers, they will get fighters, play them for about an hour, take it out, get a full refund, and then re-put it back on and restart the timer. And keep doing it over and over again. So fighters are fucked. Classical games, like so let's say for an example, you have your Contra, you have your Streets of Rage, you have your Altered Beast and Comic Zone, all those retro games. You can beat all those games in less than 10 to 15 minutes. I can literally buy the whole catalog, done them all in less than 2 hours, and get a fucking full refund and then buy another fucking game. Like, to me, honestly, it should just be either you have like a 14-day thing, and you can only do it one time per of that same title. You can't legitimately just keep doing it for the same game over and over and over and over. They got to keep track of that shit. But if you're not that kind of guy or asshole, it's actually worth it if you're, you know, you thought about, let's say you got someone a gift. Let's say I bought Alex The Witcher 3. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, oh shit. You know, it turned out Alex didn't like it. He was like, oh, this shit sucks. I heard a lot of bad reviews, whatever. So he said, fuck it. He can still refund it, and then he can still keep the money that I gave him as a gift and get something that he would want. That's a good thing.
Yes.
That's a good thing.
As long as it's not, excuse me. As long as it's not abused, I think that this is a wonderful, wonderful thing. Wonderful thing. So I say, hey, you know what? If it works out, apply it to consoles, make it universal, and people won't feel ripped off and gypped. Like I'm saying, Sunset Overdrive has been sitting on my Xbox One, and I only played it a couple of times. You know, I played with Noop, I played with Shinwar. It's just, I don't know, I just couldn't get into it. It's, you know, we have different tastes. But with that, New Gaming Order, make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe for our YouTube folks. Those in the chat checking us out live, make sure you stick through during the intermission where we're trying to scramble and get everything together. But with that, shout out to Fullscreen, our partner, for really hooking us up. And make sure you go to newgamingorder.com. Make sure you check out our first topic and our next topic. All right, so with that, we'll see you on the next segment. Peace.